The sound of my children crying through their bedroom door is something I'll never forget. Frozen in the hallway, my hand hovered over the doorknob as I processed what my 8-year-old son, Jack, had texted me from his iPad. Aunt Melissa locked us in. Please come home. I'm Sarah Parker, and I never thought I'd have to rush home from the pharmacy to rescue my children from their aunt. The irony hit hard. I had only stepped out for 20 minutes to get supplies for the family gathering she insisted on hosting at our house. Let us out. Emma, my 6-year-old, sobbed. We'll be good, we promise. I tried the handle. It was locked, but Melissa had gone further. She wedged a chair under it. Downstairs, the party continued, laughter, music, as if nothing was wrong, as if my sister-in-law hadn't locked my children in their own room. Mommy's here, I called, trying to stay calm. I'm going to get you out, just give me a minute. I could hear them sniffling, trying to be brave. The security camera alert pinged on my phone just as I was checking out at the pharmacy. What I saw was shocking. Melissa dragging my kids upstairs, her face twisted in anger, while Tom's relatives downstairs acted oblivious. Your bratty kids ruin every party, she hissed, shoving them into their room. Always wanting attention, always making noise. Well, now you'll stay here until you learn to behave. I had installed those cameras after noticing bruises on Emma's arms a few months back. She said she fell at school, but her voice told me something wasn't right. Tom called me paranoid when I suggested his sister might be involved. Melissa loves the kids, he insisted. She's just strict sometimes. Strict, I thought, rage bubbling up. I ran to our bedroom, grabbed the spare key from the dresser, and shakily unlocked the door. I could hear Melissa's voice from downstairs. Oh, the kids? They're just taking a nap. You know how they get at these parties. The door finally swung open. Jack and Emma rushed out, throwing themselves into my arms, their faces streaked with tears. She said we were bad, Emma hiccuped. She said we didn't deserve to be at the party. We weren't even doing anything wrong, Jack added, his voice trembling. We were just playing like you told us. I hugged them tightly, my heart pounding. You did nothing wrong, I whispered. Nothing at all. The camera still recorded, every word, every moment, captured. Footsteps on the stairs, I tensed. Say, Sarah, Melissa called with exaggerated sweetness. When did you get back? I was just coming to check on the children. I turned to face her as she reached the top of the stairs, her smile faltering when she saw the door open and my protective stance in front of my kids. Funny, I said coldly. I thought they were napping. She recovered quickly, adjusting her dress. Oh, they were so overexcited. I thought they needed some quiet time. You know how kids can be. Yes, I replied. I do know how kids can be. I also know how security cameras work. Her face drained of color. Security cameras? I pulled out my phone, showing her the footage, her dragging my kids upstairs, her cruel words, the chair against the door. I don't understand why you're making a big deal of this, she said, her voice shaking. I was just trying to maintain order. Those children of yours. Those children, I cut her off, are locked in their room. Care to explain why? Her eyes darted to the playroom door, then back to me. I have no idea what you're talking about. But I did. The footage had shown her sneaking boxes out of the room earlier. I had checked the cameras when Jack texted me. The playroom door had been locked, and she had made trips in and out of there throughout the day. Sarah, Tom's voice called from downstairs. Is everything okay? I glared at Melissa, whose smugness was now replaced by fear. No, I called. Everything is not okay. I think it's time we find out what Aunt Melissa's been hiding in the playroom. Tom's footsteps were close. I gripped my phone tightly. Whatever happened next, I had proof of how it started, and I had a feeling we were about to learn why Melissa had wanted my kids out of sight. Tom appeared at the top of the stairs, flushed from the party drinks. What's going on? Melissa said the kids were napping. His eyes dropped to Jack and Emma, still clinging to me. Your sister locked our children in their bedroom, I said, holding up my phone. And that's not all. Show him what she did, kids. Jack, ever brave, led Tom to the playroom door. Aunt Melissa took our stuff. Dad, she's been sneaking in and out all day. Tom tried the handle, frowning when it wouldn't budge. Mel, what's going on? Melissa's composure cracked. They have too many toys anyway, she snapped. Spoiled rotten, just like their mother. I was doing you a favor, Tom. A favor? I laughed without humor. Let's see what kind of favor you were doing. Tom, the spare key's in your office. As Tom went to get the key, I saw Melissa frantically texting. On the camera feed, her last message read, "Get them out, now, she knows." "Who are you texting, Melissa?" I asked, just as Tom returned with the key. She jumped, nearly dropping her phone. Tom turned the key with a click, pushing open the door. I kept the camera recording. What we saw made my blood run cold. The playroom was nearly empty, the kids' expensive toys, their consoles, even Emma's cherished dollhouse from my late mother, were gone. But the missing items weren't the worst part. The room had been used for an online resale operation, shipping labels scattered the floor, a laptop showed multiple accounts on marketplace sites, a stack of receipts sat in the corner, sales records for items I recognized as belonging to my children. Tom picked up one of the receipts, his face pale. "Oh my God, Melissa, these are months old. How long have you been doing this?" "You don't understand." Melissa's voice cracked. "David lost his job. We needed the money. These kids have everything while mine make do with hand-me-downs. It's not fair." I pulled up older footage from my phone. There she was, sneaking in and out of the playroom, each time thinking no one was watching. The bruises on Emma's arms made awful sense now. "Emma," I said softly, "did Aunt Melissa hurt you when you saw her taking your toys?" Emma buried her face in my side, but nodded. "She said if I told anyone, she'd make sure Daddy sent us away, like he did with Mom's old cat." Tom went pale. "You threatened my daughter, your own niece?" "Oh please," Melissa scoffed, her voice shaking. "She's exaggerating, I barely touched her. Besides, you always said they need to learn about the real world, Tom, that they shouldn't be so materialistic." "The real world?" I interrupted. "You mean the world where you steal from children and sell their belongings to cover your husband's gambling debts?" Melissa's head jerked up. "What are you talking about?" I pulled out an email I printed after reviewing suspicious footage. "David's former boss sent this to warn me. Apparently, he's been stealing from his company to cover his gambling losses. When they caught him, he claimed he could pay it back, because his wife had a thriving online business." The sounds of the party downstairs seemed distant, like a surreal soundtrack to the scene unfolding in the playroom. Through the window, I saw David's car pulling up. He must have received Melissa's text. Those toys were worth a fortune, but it wasn't just about the money. The dollhouse alone was a collector's piece, I muttered, but deeper down, it wasn't just about the material things, was it? "You've always resented my children," I said, my voice steady but low, "always making them feel less than yours." Melissa snapped. "They needed to learn their place," she yelled, her calm facade crumbling, "always showing off their new things, making my kids feel bad. You, with your perfect job, your perfect house, taking my brother away from his real family." "Mom," Jack's voice broke through, small but firm, "I have something to show you." He opened his iPad and showed her a photo. "Melissa, speaking into her phone weeks ago. Yeah, the stuff is legit. Rich brothers' kids, they get all the best things. Trust me, no one will know where it came from." Melissa lunged for the iPad, but Tom caught her arm. "Don't you dare touch him," he growled, tightening his grip. "Don't ever touch my children again." David rushed in, out of breath. "Mel, we need to go now. The buyers are asking questions about the merchandise." "The buyers?" Tom's voice hardened. "You've been selling my children's stolen toys?" David's face drained of color, his gaze flicking between his wife, the empty playroom, and the shipping labels. The sound of more footsteps came from upstairs, guests, drawn by the commotion. "Perfect timing," I said coolly, watching Melissa and David's faces fall. "I've already called the police. They're interested in your operation, especially after some buyers reported receiving fake items. That's fraud, right?" "You wouldn't," Melissa whispered, her eyes wide with panic. "We're family." "Family?" I held up my phone, showing footage of her locking my crying children in their room. "Family doesn't steal, threaten, or abuse kids. But you're right about one thing, they do have too many things. Let's see what the police have to say about where all that stuff went." The sirens in the distance made David stumble backward. Melissa collapsed, mascara streaking down her face. Tom turned to the guests in the doorway. "Party's over. I think we all need a family meeting about what's been going on under our noses." I pulled my children close, watching as the realization hit Melissa and David. The security cameras had captured it all. Sometimes, the best revenge isn't about getting even, it's about exposing the truth. The weeks after the arrests were a blur. The police investigation uncovered that their scheme was much larger than anyone had imagined. We tracked over $50,000 in fraudulent sales. Detective Morris told me, your security footage gave us the final pieces of the puzzle. Sitting in our new playroom, Emma set up her replacement dollhouse, courtesy of the insurance claim, and I reflected on how different things might have been if I hadn't trusted my instincts. Tom had been quiet since that day, torn by the betrayal of his sister, someone he had always defended. One evening, after putting the kids to bed, he finally spoke up. I should have listened to you, he said, his voice rough. All those times you said something was wrong, I didn't want to see it. I reached for his hand. You saw what you wanted to see, she was your sister. He muttered bitterly, I don't even know who she is anymore. The family divided. Some, like Tom's parents, were in denial, insisting Melissa must have had reasons for her actions. Others, whose kids had lost toys too, were furious. Jack and Emma were healing in their own ways. The therapist we'd seen helped them process the betrayal. Emma's bruises had faded, but the emotional wounds would take longer. Why did Aunt Melissa hate us so much? Jack asked one night at dinner. Was it because we had nice things? No, sweetheart, I explained, taking a deep breath. Aunt Melissa made bad choices because of her own problems. This wasn't your fault. The preliminary hearing was set for next month, but we'd already decided the kids wouldn't attend. Their statements had been given to a child advocate, and our security footage, along with their recordings, provided enough evidence. Tom's parents tried to intervene. They showed up one Sunday afternoon, uninvited. You have to drop the charges, his mother begged. She's getting help. David's in rehab. They've learned their lesson. Like Emma learned her lesson when Melissa twisted her arm? I asked quietly. Or like Jack learned his lesson when she locked them in their room? That's different, his father argued. Kids need discipline. Tom, who had been silent until then, stood up. Get out, he said, voice shaking. Get out of our house right now. My children were abused. Their things were stolen. And you're defending the people who hurt them? We're done. I'd never been prouder of him. The insurance company helped track and recover some stolen items through online marketplace records. Emma's original dollhouse was found in a collector's home 3 states away. The woman who bought it returned it at her own expense. Keep both, I told Emma when she couldn't decide. Sometimes, having more than we need isn't spoiling, it's healing. Melissa tried reaching out before the trial, using a burner phone while under house arrest. Sarah, please, she begged. You don't understand, always being compared to you. The perfect mother, the perfect everything. I just wanted to take something from you. You didn't take from me, I replied coldly. You took from innocent children, your own family, and now, you have to live with that. I blocked her number and hung up. The security cameras stayed up, but now, they captured different moments. Jack teaching Emma to ride her bike, Tom organizing a family game night, the kids, safe and happy, playing freely. One evening, I found Jack adding password protection to his iPad. Just in case, he said, his tone wise beyond his years. But Mom, thanks for believing us, even before we had proof. I hugged him tight, reminded that our children often see and understand more than we realize. Then came a surprise, a letter from David's former boss, who had been following the case. I'd like to set up a trust fund for Jack and Emma's education, equal to the amount David stole. Let some good come from this. Tom and I decided to tell the kids about it when they're older. For now, they were healing, playing, and learning to trust again. The cameras still captured our lives, but these days, they only recorded joy, laughter, and the chaos of a happy family. Melissa and David eventually took plea deals. They would serve time, pay restitution, and, most importantly, never be allowed unsupervised contact with minors again. Some family members still think we were too harsh, but looking at my children, finally free from their aunt's cruelty, I know we did the right thing. Sometimes the biggest betrayals come from those closest to us, but they also show us who we really are, and who we choose to be. We chose to stand up for our children, to believe them, and to fight for justice. In the end, that's what family should really mean. Thanks for watching, see you in the next video, stay stunned.